Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be doing another episode of the Q&A series. Now, as always, if you'd like your question to be answered in next week's video, go ahead and throw it down in the comment section below or hit me up on my Twitter. The link for that is in the description. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question comes from, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, I am trying, but I think it's Andre Pascu. I hope I'm saying that right. But you ask, what do you prefer, 3.75 inch or 6 inch figures? So, I used to be diehard 3.75 inch. When the Black Series was first released, I was like, I don't want to rebuy all of these characters that I already have in a slightly larger scale. But honestly, they've almost stopped making the 3.75 inch line. I mean, hardly any figures are coming out of the vintage collection or the less articulated lines. So as far as like availability, I definitely think I like the 6 inch Black Series more. And I definitely like the kind of increased articulation and sculpt work and paint and accessories and stuff. I think the Black Series is overall better done than I would say the majority of the 3.75 inch figures. That being said though, one thing that I think is really interesting about the 3.75 inch and why it will always be around is the variety. There's so much variety in the 3.75 inch figures. It seems like basically any character that has any screen time at all ends up getting a 3.75 inch figure, which I think is really cool. That's something that I'm not sure the Black Series will ever have. So we'll just have to see. But I think right now I definitely prefer the 6 inch Black Series. Now you had a second question as well. You also asked, what are your favorite cartoons, or what were your favorite cartoons as a kid? Now two come to mind for me. The first one is SpongeBob. Obviously it's a classic, it's incredibly prolific, but for me the early seasons, probably maybe the first 3 or 4 seasons are some of my favorites. Obviously I grew up with them, so I'm pretty fond of them. I also love the first SpongeBob movie as well. It is a classic if you've never seen it. And the second one, I'm not sure how popular this one is, but Codename Kid Next Door, always one of my favorites as a kid. I loved that they were like a secret organization that, you know, made a whole bunch of like robots and guns and stuff out of like garbage. That's something that I always wanted to do as a kid, and I would always make stuff similar to what they did in the cartoon. But anyway, those are two cartoons that I really enjoy. The next question, well, it's not really a question. The next comment comes from Max Hyper, and they say, greetings from Sweden. So super cool. I've never actually been outside the United States before, but I've seen pictures of Sweden, and it's a very beautiful place. Honestly, I'd love to visit someday. So I guess greetings from the Midwest. The next question comes from, and I may have been saying your name wrong, I'm not sure, you'll have to let me know. It's either Lucas or Lukas Skywalker, and they say, greetings from Latvia. Again, another beautiful place. I would love to see the beaches in Latvia in person, just to see them. From pictures online, they do look really beautiful. But your question is, do you build or own any Lego sets or model kits? So this question is perfect timing, honestly. I just posted a video maybe last week of all of my Lego sets that I own. I don't really know a lot about Lego, and most of my sets are older, but check out that video. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I'll put a card up on this video so that you can check it out. Now, as far as model kits go, I have done some like of the Revel Snap Type model kit, and I've done one Marmet 1/6 scale Stormtrooper model kit. But other than that, I don't have a lot of experience, especially with the more modern ones. I think they're like imports from Japan. I'm not entirely sure, but they seem awesome. I'd love to eventually get around to them. But I don't have a ton of time to spend putting them together at the moment, but maybe eventually. And the final question comes from FMF Productions, and do you play any sports? Not anymore. Or I guess the question is, did you play any sports? I did play sports. I used to play baseball. I was never any good at it, but I did play kind of non-competitively. for probably 10 to 15 years. I did enjoy it. I'm just not big into sports. I'm mostly an indoor kid, as I'm sure you guys can tell. Yeah, I definitely played sports. I also did Taekwondo, but that was like when I was very, very young, so I don't really remember any of that at all. So anyway, thank you guys so much for asking questions. I had a ton of fun answering them. And if you have any more questions or comments that you'd like to be answered in next week's video, throw them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you guys later.